Hello everyone, episode 8. I'm so curious. It's like I'm not even worried about Man City. We've already wiped them out and they've come back. Like I'm not even worried about that. I want to know what happens to Tottenham and Chelsea. But let's take it. Let's just go straight Premier League. Liverpool won the title. Good things. Okay, no Chelsea in the list. Tottenham is in the list. Okay, as is Arsenal. Let's go look at the stages, my friends. Preston North End. Quite the run, my friends. I mean, okay, they were in the championship for a long time anyway, but okay. All right. Exciting. Liverpool, 83 points, winning it by 4 points over Man City. Man United, they're back. Newcastle, Europa League. Leicester, back in the Champions League spots. Let's see, 6th. Yeah, that's their best return yet. Best return? I don't know. Stoke has been, I think, okay, well, I was going to say quite solid, but they were solid there for a couple of seasons and then fell off. Wolves doing quite well. West Ham in 9th. Bournemouth. Arsenal. Okay, I just saw that. You're probably like, hey, look at Arsenal, mate. Look at Arsenal. Look at Arsenal. Okay, they have dropped back to 11th. That's like tied for their third worst position since in the last 20 years. After 4th. Ooh, we'll have to see what happened there. Tottenham, again, dropping from 11th to 12th. So I think, aside from Chelsea dropping completely out, that is the worst placement, especially, a couple years out. Let's go see what's going on with Chelsea. Okay, that's this season. I'm like, those are all curiously in alphabetical order. 6th place. 8th. So they've made a bit of a return. They just haven't been able to pull it off. That means they got to the playoff spot, though, and then they must have lost. Let's go look. They beat Swansea, was at 4-3 on aggregate. And they lost to Cardiff. Oh, brutal. So Chelsea remain in 6th in the championship. Okay, let's go take a look at Manchester City. Man, we have wiped them out. What is it? 2 times now? They've beep, like, it's not real. It's just been like a blip. So I'm curious if now that it's the second time in 4 years, if the blip will continue. Let's look at the transfer history. Okay, this is this upcoming season, essentially. 2 leaving on a free, 15, and it's on euros every time. All right, we're back on pounds. If you're on episode 8, you know that's what I do. So 13.5 in. Grimaldo and 0 on the outs. But last season, they sold 124 million. But they still... Okay, so you have to look at... Maybe this had already gone into effect. Who knows? Maybe not. But once we wiped them out, only 20 million or 20.5 million coming in versus... You could probably delete that. Or could you? Surely they didn't just come to an agreement, on July 1st after we wiped them out. Surely not. So really not that much of an impact. If you take out the 97 million being sold to PSG, 6 million, 7.75, nothing too major, really. So that's interesting because that may have softened the blow, of the wipeout. Let's look at their reputation. 2456. So that's curious. 325 million in the bank. So we'll have to see if that reputation being local, if that is going to cause another, push to get players out because they go, mate, I want to play for a big club, even though we came second, So we'll have to see how that turns out. Let's just check Man U real quick here. Okay, this is the last season. 32 million, 118. I'm not even going to look at the players. They're back to normal. That's not even interesting. Arsenal, though, with the I thought they were on the the upward trajectory, right? They finished 11th, then they finished 5th, then they finished 4th, back in the Champions League, and then with a thud, back down to 11th. And they brought 61 million in, okay, and 10.75 out. But let's look at the season before. I mean, that's not that big of a deal. Like, that's what, 11.5 million pounds different. So it's been a couple seasons since they've had like a massive outflux of players. Only 4.5 in and 165K out. Let's look at their reputation. 51.93, and they've got 180 million in the bank. I mean, they're back to 2.5 stars. So it just seems to be poor performance, right? So Willie Sagnol came in and was sacked in February after the January transfer window. And then they brought in Xavier Temerit. All right. So now we have to watch both Tottenham and Arsenal. Will Arsenal go on the Chelsea path and go down with their reputation? I mean, they've still got 2.5 stars. You would think not. They've got money in the bank. Tottenham, though, woo! I mean, they're back to 2.5 star. We'll check the reputation first. 48-46. Oh, they've got -5 million in the bank? Oh, my. Oh, that's the first we've seen that. Okay, so we wiped them out July 1st. So they already brought in 1.7 million. And again, it's hard to tell with some of the Julys. You would think that would have been a transfer that happened after we wiped them out. But who knows, right? But they still brought in 48 million while sending out, okay, they already sent out 49 million. So after we wiped them out, they only sent out, 10 million total? And the majority of that being on January 31st. Nothing too crazy. This upcoming season, they're bringing in 27 million. So, from their transfers, you would believe they're not in financial trouble, and their reputation should be recovering to a point where they're going to be okay. But that is the fact that they're -5. I mean, 5 million. It's like the Premier League is, but it's like the fact that you're -5 million in the hole in the Premier League. Are there cracks in the foundation? Have the fans gone away? That's interesting to me. Let's look at poor Chelsea. Poor Chelsea. Okay, this is the past season. 16.5 out, 14 in, but a lot of frees. So I'm curious about there's 36.87. Look at the money. They have 829 million pounds in the bank. But this is what we're seeing, right? They're having to bring in frees. They cannot attract those star players to come play for them. So they're having to get the onesie-twosies, the players that a Huddersfield are willing to sell, right? So that championship level player, and that's making it more challenging, obviously, to make that run back up. They're getting close, though, right? Like, they've got the money. Surely they've got their facilities maxed out and all that kind of stuff. I guess we could take a look at that. We will hear in a second. But, I mean, they had to sell to Cardiff. West Brom was getting relegated, but that was at the beginning of the season. Let's go look here. Okay, so 11.75 million in and 2 million out. Okay, that's a bit better, although 10.25 of that is, one player from a team that's getting relegated back down to your level. But maybe he's a talent that can help him go back up, because that's a pretty big signing, at this point, considering last season they spent all of 14 million and they're already at 11.75, and 10 of that is one player. So, they're trying to climb back up. Let's take a look at the facilities. Mate, you got 800 million in the bank. Upgrade your data analysis facilities. Come on. And your youth recruitment. Let's get excellent here. Superb youth facility, excellent training facility. You'd think they'd spend the money. You'd think. At least do something. Let's bring in some players from the academy or something like that. Okay, he left the head coaching role. He was not sacked. So where did he go? Derby County. Huh. Who, I guess it was a rescue job, and then that didn't pay off, and now he's relegated back to the same level. Okay. My friends. Very interesting. Very interesting to me. What do we think? What do we think? Oh, and I guess we should take a look at Liverpool here. We got to wipe them out. Do we think Tottenham drop further? If they do drop, do they drop into the relegation zone? What about Arsenal? That is a surprise to me. That is quite the surprise. I don't think the Manchester teams are going anywhere. Personally, it's like hard coded into Football Manager that they are able to survive at all costs. But will Chelsea, can they get back into the Prem? Can they make another run in the playoffs? Can they be the higher ranked team in the playoffs? I'm not sure. All right, let's take a look at Liverpool. So this is where, okay, again, they've won it twice now, so this is gonna be the second time we've wiped them out. But the reputation's 2.5 stars, so it's not, I don't believe, fully recovered. If we go down to 51-31 here, down to 1, okay, and they've got 78. They had 78 million in the bank. What will that do? Will they follow a similar path because they don't have as much merchandising or sponsorship or whatever, and the reputation hadn't fully recovered? Will that doom them as well? Can Klopp survive? He's already survived once and then finished second and came back and won it again. He's like, hey, this is what we do. Let's just take a look, I guess, at last season. 86 million in, 97 million out. So balancing the books, but not, give or take 11 million. It's fine. It's not like a massive amount different. And we saw Salah went to Barcelona on a free. I'm just curious. He's on 235. He's a 7.25 still. He's quite good. Rated high. One big one for 32 million. Aside from that, there must have been another big one, right? 32. Okay, right there. 44.5 million. Fair enough. But they're definitely bringing in players, so it's not like they're just sitting on their thumbs or whatever. And then 37.5 million already set up to come in or has come in thus far this season. 28.5 million. So will that be the last signing that comes in, or do they have other ones already set up? I guess we can't see that. Will they have to balance the books? Will they send out some of those other players? That's where we're going to end it today, my friends. Episode 8. Let me know what you think about Chelsea and Tottenham. Those are the ones I'm most interested in, as well as Liverpool. Will the reputation, since it didn't fully recover, will that damage them moving forward? We'll see you next time. Hopefully you're enjoying this series. Leave a comment. We'll see you then.